Welcome back. As we've been learning this week, Canada is home to 2/3 of the world's polar bears, and many of them are migrating through the town of Churchill in Manitoba. But plans by an American company could see that town become a global shipping gateway for oil. And that idea has not gone well with environmentalists or local business owners. Kristiaan Yeo reports.
This remote town in northern Manitoba, nestled in the gleaming white tundra, is an ecological gold mine. Polar bears are Churchill's star attraction, but it's also home to Arctic foxes, snowy owls and beluga whales. They've made the town one of the world's top destinations for eco-tourists, and it depends heavily on that revenue. But there is disagreement over plans to diversify Churchill's economy.
During the peak season here in Churchill, around 12,000 people come here to capture sight of the polar bears. So tourism is big business and a huge employer. But so is the local seaport as a global gateway for grain. There are plans to start exporting oil from that port, but many argue that oil and polar bears simply don't mix.
Omnitrax, an American rail operator, hopes to move millions of gallons of oil a year through Churchill. It insists the project would be safe and could create much-needed jobs, but environmentalists say the town's aging railways are unfit to carry such sensitive freight, and a spill would destroy the region's wildlife.
They've simply put no effort, no money, no commitment here into preventing an accident from occurring, and more importantly, responding to such an accident if it occurs. We have a decrepit port, a decrepit rail line, and a proposal to export oil on the cheap. That's a recipe for disaster, and it should not be allowed.
Many here believe Churchill is overly reliant on tourism, and the seaport should be put to more profitable use. Government subsidised grain contracts have given the port a steady flow of traffic, but these subsidies aren't guaranteed forever. And Churchill's mayor thinks they should be looking into more lucrative commodities.
We're talking about diversification. Yeah, oil is sort of the hot topic today. You know, what's the hot topic within a couple of years? Is it going to be potash? Is it going to be fertilizer? You know, what is it? You know, is it mining commodities? Either we're a seaport or we're not. I believe we can be all of it. I believe that we can be very successful in tourism, and I believe we can be successful as a seaport.
The Manitoba government has deemed the plan too risky until Omnitrax improves the rail line. Aside from spills, nobody wants a repeat of what occurred in Lac-Mégantic, the small town in Quebec, which was torn apart by an explosive runaway oil train earlier this year.
We have government agencies that certify this and make sure it's safe. I have to trust in them. But if anything did happen, it would be terrible for Churchill.
Last month, Omnitrax delayed a trial shipment of oil to address the concerns raised. But the company insists it will move oil through Churchill eventually. At a time when evidence points to a bear population in decline, some argue that Churchill will need another source of revenue. But few want to gamble this town's famous wildlife for a ride on the energy gravy train.
I think we need to be very careful when we consider the types of shipments that we move through this community. And I think we need to very strongly consider how quickly not only an industry could disappear, but this pristine and unique environment could disappear. And we really need to ask ourselves if it's worth it.
Kristiaan Yeo, CCTV, Churchill, Manitoba.